I'm bored with my Nintendo Wii. Can I give it away? I go, is it broken? No. How long have you had it? Woo, for like 4 years. I go, how many games do you have for the Nintendo Wii? Like 300? I could feel you judging me over there. I felt that. Oh, you're judging me right now. I could feel it. She's over there. She's like, this is some Dr. Phil right here. He really messed him up. I heard you. Let me just, for the record, let me set this straight, okay? I did not buy my son 300 games. Here's what happened. I have a friend who's a computer hacker, and for $75, he put 300 games on my son's hard drive. Yes, I have money, but I'm still ghetto. Oh, yeah. So I tell Frankie, do you realize how lucky you are? And then he rolls his eyes. Oh, lucky. I go, yeah, dude, you are. I says, you got a Nintendo Wii that works. You've had it for 4 years, and it still works. If something happens to it, I can take it back to the store, get you a new one, because I got a warranty that'll last you another 4 years. Why is that a big deal? Because when I was your age, I had a Nintendo. Wii? No. Frankie, in 1987, I had a thing called a Nintendo Entertainment System, okay? Nintendo Entertainment System. It didn't last 4 years. It lasts 90 days. 90 days is what it took for you to hit power and start seeing a flashing red screen. You know the flashing red screen where you have to look at the ground or look away or you have a seizure right then and there? Oh, yeah. And then what you had to do is you had to flip the Nintendo over, and there was a silver sticker with an 800 number on it. And you call the 800 number, and they put you in contact with someone in Japan who made you feel like a pendejo. Oh, yeah, he made you feel stupid. You call him up, and he's like, it costs $250 to repair Nintendo. $250 to fix it, but it's $150 for a brand new one. And if you couldn't afford $150 for a brand new one, like we couldn't afford $150 for a brand new one, you had to become a technician at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You had to go in the kitchen and find the most messed up butter knife you could, right? The one that had bent marks and rust stains, and take that sucker back in the living room because you were going to perform an operation. You were going to perform an operation and bring that Nintendo back to life. Yeah. You had to work to play. You had to unplug it, plug it back in, power reset, power reset, power reset. It was like performing CPR. You'd hold a cartridge, and then it was like, you push it down, you push it up, you push it down, you push it up, push it down, you push it up, push it down, you push it up. Give it oxygen. Do you think your mom would like to meet Vicente Fernandez right now? I said, Emily, let me tell you something. If she says no, I want to meet him. I'll be right back. Ama, dime, mijo. Emily wants to know if you would like to meet Vicente Fernandez right now. Mijo, that sounds nice. All right, Emily, she's in. Emily goes, is she even a fan? I go, trust me, that's her reaction. She's good. She has the whole house covered with Vicente Fernandez records and cassettes. Okay, we're good. So Emily comes back, and she puts these special VIP bracelets on us with a little click, and she walks us through a door into the backstage area. As soon as we went through the door, I knew exactly where we were. I was just there a week ago. So I got my mom arm in arm, and we're walking down the hallway, okay? Come on, Ma, let's go. Let's go. We're walking down the hallway, and we're getting closer and closer to Vicente Fernandez's dressing room. The door is wide open, and I can hear a commotion coming out of the dressing room. And then a man and a woman exit the room, and the man is holding onto the woman's shoulders, and he's like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And the woman looks destroyed, okay? Mascara's running down her face. My mom sees that, and she's like, mijo, did you see that? Did you see what the mascara? What the mascara parece puta la cabrona. Sorry, puta means friendly. So we get by the door, and the closer we get, we start to see a guy in the room. He comes to the door. In the room, there's 3 people, okay? There's Vicente Fernandez, the photographer, and a handler. The handler comes to the door, and you can tell by his voice that he works for like a Mexican radio station because he's got that voice. You know, like, hola, hola, pásale, pásale. Pásale in Spanish means come on in. So we start to walk into the room. And let me tell you guys something. If you grew up listening to Vicente Fernandez from a young age and you get the opportunity to meet him, it is seriously a religious experience. My mom and I are entering the room. The only thing missing is the freaking Domines Patres el nombre de San. You don't look at him, you look at the floor. Out of respect, you just look at the floor. Come on, Ma. We get all the way up to him and I see boots. And when I see the boots, my mom and I both just... He knows what you're doing. He knows you're checking him out. So what he does is he poses, okay? Vicente stands there and he poses. He'll have the sombrero, the hat, to his side. And then he doesn't look at you. He looks away. And he sticks his chest out. And he stands there looking like a big-ass bottle of Tapatio at Costco. And then he looked at me. And he recognized me, not as a comedian, but because I was there the week before and my photo was hanging outside his door. It's whoever's there last, you know, they always rotate the photo. So he sees me and he's like,
Hijo, tú eres el muchacho que está en la foto, que está allá afuera.
I go, yeah, that's me outside, yeah. Hola. Vicente, I'm sorry. Le presento mi mamá. I'm like, oh my God, I think I just offered up my mom to Vicente Fernandez. She's like 73, better late than never, Ma, get him. My mom starts walking up to Vicente. He was so nice. He goes out to shake my mom's hand, and my mom grabs his hand. And I don't know where she got this strength and energy from, but she grabbed him and pulled him in hard, like the video game. Get over here. And then hooked him. She hooked him and she starts screaming into his chest, Mi chente, mi chente, mi chente. I'm like, oh my God, she's getting horny. And he knew too. Because he was like, you know, quítamela, quítamela. The photographer, the handler, and me, the 3 of us, is what it took to pull her off of Vicente. We sit her down, she's bawling. Ah! Mascara's running down her face. The photographer shaking his head. I guess Vicente had dinner earlier that night. He was eating barbecue because I had those wet naps, you know, barbecue wet naps. And so we take the wet naps and we start cleaning the mascara off my mom's face. And we stand her up and we posed her and we took the picture. Emily comes over and she takes us and she escorts us to our seats in the front. And for 3 hours, my mom was on her feet listening to his, she refused to sit down. Mom, you should sit. No, como que es el chente. Holding a shot of tequila that she never drank. She was 3 hours on her feet, never once sat down. That's how powerful his music was. My mom felt no pain for that entire time. And the minute that freaking concert was over, you know, tan, 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 tan. My feet! Oh my God, mijo, mis pies! Ay, pinche callo! Oh my God, my feet! Ay, And I'm like, oh, great. So now I gotta drag this living novela to the parking lot. I helped her into the car. Hey, V, I told you to sit down. You don't sit for gente. Here comes Emily. Did you guys have a good time? I go, Emily, we had the greatest time. Thank you so much. I got something for you. I go, what's up? And she hands me an envelope, and I open it. And inside the envelope is the picture. She printed it out for me. And when I looked at it, I got so choked up because I have never seen my mom so happy in a picture. And it's not that she wouldn't smile. She would smile, but it was that, 1, 2, 3, cheese. But this one was like... And what makes it extra special is that is the last photo I have of my mom, and she was the happiest. And I'm not trying to preach to nobody. This is what you got to do with your life. Hell no, shoot. You like burgers? Kill it. Dale gas. I'm just saying that's what I'm going through. And then people think, oh, he's trying to lose weight because he's doing movies. He wants to look better. He wants to be accepted. He wants to be accepted. No. Don't get it twisted, you guys. Don't even think that. At my highest weight of 445 pounds, the level of acceptance I had was amazing, okay? To put it to you like this, at 445 pounds, there was women throwing themselves at me. At 445 pounds, there was men. Oh, in Bay Area, let me tell you something about gay men. I know you're in here. I saw the line. I'm going to tell you something about gay men. Gay men are very creative, they're very persistent, and they're very opportunistic when they want to achieve the mission. They're just as calculated as straight men are. I'll give you an example. I'll tell you a story, right? So one night, Martin and I are at a bar, and we're having drinks. And that should come as no surprise. Oh, really? They were drinking? Yeah, we killed it. So as we're drinking, Martin is paying attention and he's listening in to a conversation that's happening about 15 feet away between these two girls. They're going back and forth, and one of them was like, I don't believe we finished the whole bottle. How the hell are we supposed to get home? Martin stands up, looks at me and says, bro, I'll be back. And then it began, the hunt. Freaking. Gay men are the exact same way. They listen, they focus, they pay attention. They wait for one of the cows to get away from the rest of the herd so they can corner it and strike. 4 hours later, Martin and I are at the bar, and I'm 16 shots of tequila in. Oh yeah, and I feel fantastic. And I tell Martin, bro, I don't remember the last time I had this many shots of tequila. And Martin goes, bro, you're crazy, Fluffy. You're crazy. Wait right here. I gotta pee. And so he leaves to the restroom, and I'm leaning against the bar. The bar is the only thing keeping me standing. And from across the room, this guy stands up, looks at his friends, and says, I'll be back. And then it began, the hunt. And he gets in my face and he tells me, I just have to say, I am such a huge fan of yours. Oh my God. Anytime someone says they're a huge fan of mine, it automatically makes me smile. Even more so if I've been drinking. Oh yeah, if I'm drinking, I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Bro, I was so loaded, I bowed. Thank you. The guy puts his hand on my shoulder and he says, I just have to say, you have gotten me through some difficult time. And he stops talking and he squeezes and he goes, oh my God. Do you work out? I was so drunk, I said, a little. You're the first person to notice. And he's like, oh, you could totally tell. And he squeezed again. And I said, I'm sorry, am I overstepping? No, bro, you don't understand. I'm stressed out. That felt pretty good. Want me to rub both your shoulders and your back and scratch it? Because I will. Oh, whoa. Hey, go for it. He grabs me by the shoulders, you guys. He grabs me by the shoulders and he turns me around. Now I'm facing the bartender, and the bartender is trying to warn me. The bartender's like, hello, 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 hello. 3 years ago, I bought a Beetle, not even thinking. That's not the joke, shut up. See, I can't even tell you guys this story already. I wasn't thinking. I bought the car because it was affordable, economical, brand new freaking Beetle for like 17 grand. I was like, first new car. I go to show it off at my friend Martin's house. I thought it was nice. I pull up, you know. Martin! He lives in the hood. I don't get out the car. Across the street, there are these gang members. The kind of gang members that don't really get into, you know, like shooting people and stuff like that. They just hang out on the porch and talk a lot of smack. And so I'm there in a Beetle, and across the street I hear this, right? I'm like, Martin! And over here I hear, Órale! Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? How'd you get in there, is it? Hurry up, Martin! 2 months later, I go back to pick him up. Now I've had some time to work on the car, right? I put some rims on it, some stickers. I put a chip in the motor so it goes faster. I thought it was bad, right? I pull up. Martin! Órale! I'm not turning around. Hey! Hey! I don't see you. Yoo-hoo! Hey! Oh! What? Check it out, hey! It's the Fat and the Furious! I didn't even wait, man. Got rid of that car, man. I traded it in and got myself a big old SUV. It was nice for a while. This car freaking sucked on mileage, so man, I got 11 miles to the gallon. Oh, you cannot be badass in a car that kills gas like I kill tacos. You can't be at the stoplight trying to intimidate other cars. You know, what? Whoa. $20 right there. Hell no, man. But it was kind of cool. It had a GPS navigational system in it, and OnStar, which was really cool. You know, I'm driving, and all of a sudden, this girl's talking to me. Right turn up ahead. In 3/4 tenths of a mile, left turn. And I'm like, whatever you say, baby. I am officially down 100 pounds. Yeah. I know some of you in the front are looking at me right now like, well, how big were you? I know. Hercules, yeah. Anyways, you guys, let me tell you what happened. Basically, I found out I was a little sick. I was diagnosed about 2 years ago, type 2 diabetic. Now, I maxed out at 445 pounds. Yeah, that's way past fluffy, okay? Let's be honest, that's not even, damn! 445 pounds, that's borderline Discovery Channel fat. That was like, I couldn't leave the house, you know? He wants to go to the movies. It was really bad, you guys, and so I was waking up every morning with a 300 plus sugar level. Now, anyone who knows anything about diabetes, that is super high. And you do that enough times, and eventually, clear. It's so hard to say goodbye.
They buried him in frosting. It was the sweetest funeral ever. Everyone got a cupcake. It was so nice.
I'm at the doctor's office, you guys, and the doctor tells me, he says, listen, Gabriel, you're 445 pounds, your weight is out of control, your diabetes is out of control, you're 35 years old, you will not live another 2 years. I guarantee it. And I got very emotional, you know, I was like, are you serious? He goes, 2 years tops. And I was like, but I just started making money. Well, it's gonna be a nice funeral. I was like, what an ass. So it took a lot for me to finally start doing something about it, you know, because it's not like this is the first time I try to lose weight. This has been happening for a long time, but somebody tells you you're gonna die, you actually wake up. So what it took the support of my friends, my family, and, you know, especially, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Martin, you guys, helped me out so much because he's always encouraging me to go to the gym. Let's go work out, bro. Let's go do something. And more importantly than let's go work out is, you know, we're on the road together 46 weeks out of the year, so we eat together a lot, and he's always watching what I eat. And if he sees me reaching for something I shouldn't mess with, he checks me, especially breakfast. That's my favorite meal. I love breakfast. And they always put us at these nice hotels where they give us this continental breakfast with the buffet, and, you know, if I'm eating eggs and bacon and sausage, that's fine. Yes, some of it's fattening, but guess what? No sugar. If Martin sees me reaching for muffins or waffles, he makes a scene. He waits for me to get about 15 feet away, and he starts yelling in front of all the people at the restaurant. Oh yeah, he's still ghetto. I don't care if it's a Ritz-Carlton. Guess what? Machete's here. He starts yelling. He waits for me to get 15 feet away, and then he starts. Really, bro? You're gonna put that in your mouth, Fluffy? You know what that's gonna do to your body? Hey, have some self-respect. And he makes me cry at breakfast. I'm sad. I'm like, I don't want the muffin. I don't want it. I don't want the muffin. I'm not a little whore. I'm not a little whore. But see, that is a real friend who would check me and remind me, hey, bro, get mad at me all you want. I just want you to live. And I gotta respect that. That's why I love that dude, you know? And in turn, sometimes I gotta check Martin. Yeah. Believe me, you guys, it goes both ways. Sometimes I have to check him, not about his weight, but he has his demons too. You know, oh, believe that. Yes, sometimes there's limited space at the hotels where we're staying at. So sometimes we gotta double up on a room. And every now and then Martino brings some random girl to the room at 3 o'clock in the morning, wakes me up. I gotta look at him and say, really, bro? You're gonna put that in your mouth? Last year, we got a chance to do a European tour of 15 countries. Estonia, Germany, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, UK. We're just bouncing around all over the place. And then we wound up on the other side of the world. Out of all the countries I performed in, my favorite country outside of home is Australia. And I'll tell you why. Australia, much like us in America, has its list of priorities. You know what's not on their list? Political correctness. They do not care about your feelings. It's like a country full of Daves. Believe it or not, it's very refreshing to be around such a large group of people who speak their minds so freely. And if you know that before you go there, you're gonna have an amazing time. But if you don't know that and you show up, it is a culture shock and a half, because I showed up and I didn't know. Everybody says you gotta see the beaches, and I went to the beach. I had people coming up to me. Hey, somebody help me get him back in the water. Yeah, look at right there, big fella. Look at you right there. Oh, look, he's moving. Oh, he's crying. I bet it tastes like gravy. It's not bullying if everyone does it. Yeah, that being said, I'm in Australia. Sydney, Australia, at the Opera House. For me, it was one of the most iconic places I've ever got to perform in. It was bucket list, definitely. After the show, I wanted to go hang out with some Aussies and see what that was like. I'm hanging out at a pub. First things first, Australian people do not drink Foster's beer. That's an American thing. They don't drink that over there. I tried ordering one to fit in, didn't go over well. Bartender looked at me. Hey, you like the taste of piss, do ya? Okay, don't order that again. So I'm hanging out with these two Aussies and we're drinking a rum called Bundaberg. At first glance, it looks like a Coca-Cola bottle because there's a polar bear on the front. And then you drink it and you're like, that's not Coke. As we're talking, a third Australian joined the conversation. And he sounded a little bit different from the other two. He had more of a raspy voice. More like, all right, yeah, mate, yeah, all right. He sounded like a drunk pirate underwater. These two guys didn't like him, so they called him a name and they left. And now it's just me and drunk pirate. We're talking about life. Life in America, life in Australia, talking about our differences. He tells me that he's a professional knife maker. He's showing me how it's done. He's showing me pictures. We wind up polishing off 3 bottles of this rum. And drunk wasn't even the right word to describe our level. My tour manager, Ryan, he comes up to me and he says, Gabe, time to go. And I look at Ryan and I'm like, but Ryan, I just made a friend and he makes knives and they're pretty. My tour manager always knows how to talk to me no matter what condition I'm in. If I'm drunk, he knows better than to talk to me like I'm an adult. He talks to me like I'm 2. He looks at me and he says, hey, buddy, you hungry? Well, listen, if we don't leave right now, they're gonna close McDonald's and you're gonna have to eat at the airport. I gotta go. I see a couple of young adults right there. How old are you guys? You're 13. Wow. And next to you? How old are you? You're 10. Okay. I am so sorry for what Martin said. 10 years old. But you know what though? I can't feel too bad because you know what? 10-year-olds are young adults. You are a young adult. I don't see you as a kid. A kid to me, first of all, is someone who doesn't have access to the internet. You have, I'm sure, a tablet or a cell phone or access to online services, right? Services. What the hell is he talking about? Bad choice of words. You know what I mean, right? You've probably seen and heard a few things already, and the parents are like, no, not my child. No, I lock their phone. Yeah, but you don't lock their friend's phone. I feel bad whenever I say something that's kind of like risque, whenever parents bring like a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, and yes, it happens. Then I feel bad because then I'll meet them after the show and I'm like, I am so sorry for what you heard me say. And it's always funny to see the parents say, oh, they hear worse at home. Nothing like watching a 4-year-old confirm that, you know, just... Like, for example, my son, he's 18 years old, but he still doesn't cuss at home, okay? Now, whatever he does in public, I have no control over, but at home, he knows he cannot cuss. One time in like 13 years, I caught my son cussing at home, and I couldn't even get mad. He had fallen down the stairs. I don't mean to laugh, but think about it. What am I gonna do to him that's worse than what he just did to himself? I heard it too. Son of a bitch! I ran over. I didn't even check his safety. I was like, what did you say? You earned that one. I said, if you want to say the F word, next time let me push you. That's when I knew he fell hard. Really? No, get up here. Come on. Well, cool. Welcome, you guys. I hope you have a good time. I know you're getting nervous, Dad. You see me talking to you, you're like, what's he telling my son? No, nothing. Nothing. Being cool. But thank you for trusting me to bring your kids to the show. For your young adults. Sorry. Thank you for trusting me to bring your young adults to the show. And by the way, I know I keep pointing at people in the front right here. If you're here tonight with someone you have no business being here with, I want to let you all know right now that there are things about me that you don't know that you're going to find out sooner than later. So basically what I'm trying to do at this moment is do what my lawyer said and get ahead of it. I offended someone whose name I should have never brought up. I offended a professional fighter. His name is Canelo. I know, go big or go home. If you are not familiar with who Canelo is, give me a few seconds to explain. Canelo is arguably one of the best fighters in the world. Okay? You cannot miss him. He is in fact Mexican, but he does not look traditional. Canelo is in fact the whitest Mexican on earth. He's super white. He's so white, he's redhead. Canelo is a redheaded white Mexican fighter. He is so white, even Donald Trump was like, you can come. Super white. But then he opens his mouth and you realize, oh, Canelo, he's not local. So here's how I got in trouble. A comedy friend of mine by the name of Ron White reached out to me. And Ron White invited me to be part of his Tribute to the Troops comedy show for the Nashville Network. And I told Ron, I said, Ron, I'd love to do the show. Anything for the troops, let's do this. So the show taped in Vegas. And it's a couple other comics plus myself, and Ron White's the host. He brings me up on stage, and I figure I'm only doing 10 minutes, okay? I might as well just do references to Las Vegas since everybody knows Vegas. So I started talking about boxing. And then I brought up Canelo. And here's where I got in trouble. I said, Canelo is my favorite fighter of all time. I just wish... And it was all downhill after that. I said, I just wish he would not do interviews in English because English is not his strong language. And if you're a professional fighter, hear me out. If you're a professional fighter, you need to sound confident, engaged, threatening, aggressive, on point, in your face. And in Spanish, he does. In English, not so much. In Spanish, he's a killer. In Spanish, the reporter, the announcer comes out. Aquí estamos con Canelo Álvarez que se va a pelear contra Floyd Money Mayweather este fin de semana en pay-per-view en el MGM Grand en Las Vegas, Nevada. I know some of you heard that right now and you're like, oh my God, I think I understand Spanish. Because you do. So then the reporter will look at Canelo and ask him about the fight. Canelo, ¿qué vas a hacer en tu pelea? Canelo takes the microphone. He's a man of few words, but he's on point. He looks at the camera and he's like,
Pues mira, lo voy a pegar así, va a pegar el piso. ¡Sas!
así mero, no se lo pierdes ese fin de semana en el MGM Grand, Las Vegas, Nevada. Canelo Álvarez contra Floyd Money Mayweather. No se lo pierda. Same exact interview. English. I'm standing here alongside Mexican superstar Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's going to be facing Floyd Money Mayweather this weekend on pay-per-view. Canelo, what is your strategy and your plan of attack going into this weekend's fight against such a technical opponent, if you will, a man who has single-handedly redefined the sport of boxing? What is your plan of attack going into the fight?
Well, I am going to hit him like this. I'm going to hit him like this. He's going to fall on the...
¿Cómo se dice piso, güey? Floor. He going to fall to the floor and then tan tan, así. All right, well, there you have it. Floyd Mayweather, I hope you are ready, my friend, because, yeah, that's what's waiting for you. Reporting live for ESPN News, I'm Phil Stevens. Back to you in the studio, and we're out. The hell was that, goddammit? Why did you warn me? See, first of all, any alcohol that will make you say its name is not safe. And that's the only alcohol that will make you do that. That's the only one you hear people. Jaeger! You don't hear anyone else. You don't hear Mexicans. Tequila, way! You don't hear black people. Hennessy, playa. You don't hear Japanese. Woo, saki saki! Jaeger is scary for a few reasons. One, I'm type 2 diabetic. I shouldn't even be drinking, but Jaeger has twice as much sugar in it. Second thing is the consistency. It's very sticky. It's like cough syrup. So if you drink too much of it, it holds on longer than anything else, and it's nasty. When you drink it, you're like, ah!
Palatos, palatos, palatos.
It's horrible. If you drink too much of it, it holds on longer than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have one too many beers, you know what happens. You get the and then you return it to the rightful owner. Jaeger makes you feel like you gotta bring it back, but you can't. All it does is make you dramatic for 45 minutes until it lets go. You've seen someone like that. Hey, you okay? I'm fine, but they can't throw up. All they're doing is 6-minute abs. People look at you the next day. Are you into fitness? No, I'm a drunk. Yeah. Jaeger is scary. Another alcohol I refuse to mess with anymore is wine. Look at the people over there. We're from Schaumburg. For those of you that don't know, Schaumburg is the kind of the Beverly Hills of the area, so I'm sure you figured that one out by now. My issue with wine is very simple. I don't like the fact that wine is socially accepted. And what I mean by that is that if you see someone with a bottle of wine, if you see a guy crossing the street with a bottle of wine, immediately he's judged, but in a positive way. Because wine is always associated with something high class, something positive, something progressive, an anniversary, a celebration, a promotion. So you try to figure it out. Hey, what do you think is going on over there? Graduation? Promotion? It's gotta be good. Hey, good for you, buddy! Women see a man with a bottle of wine holding a couple of glasses and immediately, aww,
Lucky bitch.
it's still alcohol. It will still mess you up. The main reason why I don't like wine is because you cannot accurately measure wine. You can measure real liquor. It's called a shot. And you know after drinking enough times what you can handle and what you can't handle. Because people who drink a lot love to brag about their drinking abilities. They have their drinking number, right? They have their drinking number. You'll hear them, 11 shots of Don Julio. Woo, yeah! They have their drinking number. Even women.
After 4 shots of Cuervo, I am so good. 4 shots is my sweet spot.
What happens if you do 5?
I'll wake up in an alley.
What happens if you do 6?
That's how I met Tyrone.
See, with wine, you cannot accurately measure how much you're drinking unless you're basing it on the bottle. And if you're basing it on the bottle, then that's a whole different issue. With wine, the glasses are always different sizes. Sometimes they're big glasses, sometimes they're small glasses, and a lot of times you need to rely on someone to pour it for you. Sometimes they know what they're doing, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they fill it up too high, which is not the proper amount. Sometimes they get it just right, which is a little bit less than half of the glass. Sometimes you get that greedy bastard from Olive Garden. You know what I'm talking about? Where you get that little sample and then you have to hold it up in direct sunlight and do this. And then you drink it, you're like, that's pretty good. I got a coupon for that. Here you go. And you never see wine drinkers drinking with real drinkers in dive bars. You might see them at a social gathering like this one or some corporate function, but never at a little hole in the wall. You'll never see Jaeger! Tequila way! And in the middle, mellow, I say. Oh, this is a fantastic establishment. I truly enjoy it. So then she walks me into the doctor's office. I sit down, doctor walks in, and we spoke for an hour. In a nutshell, what he says is that he wants to take my stomach, which in his opinion is the size of an NFL football, and he wants to cut it and make it the size of a hard-boiled egg. Therefore, you only eat this much and you lose weight with time. Problem with gastric bypass is that if you don't stick to their program religiously, not only will you not lose weight, you will gain weight. And you'll have a series of complications. And then he asked, do you travel a lot? I'm like, I'm on the road 46 weeks out of the year. He goes, this is not gonna work for you. I'm like, I agree, I like 2 eggs. I said, well, what should I do? He goes, I don't know, but this isn't gonna work. So I left the office, I was bummed out, you guys. I get in my car, I was so depressed because I'm like, someone told me I got 2 years to live. Surgery is my last hope. And so I started crying. I was sad, I was in the car, I'm crying. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? And the only thing that could cheer me up was a drive-thru. And I know that sounds crazy. Some of you are like,
Isn't that what got you in that position to begin with?
yes, but it's the only thing that made sense. There's a reason why it's called comfort food. Think about that. Anytime you see someone eating a burger, they never look sad. They always look happy. You might look sad walking in, you might look sad walking out, but when the actual event of eating a burger is happening, life couldn't be better. That's right. My girl told me that I make sounds when I eat burgers. I didn't know. Apparently I do. I'm eating a burger and I'm like, She was like, are you eating that or are you eating that? Think about it. Who's sad when they're eating fast food? I'll tell you who's sad. The person eating a salad watching someone eat fast food. That's who's sad. So I pull up to this fast food restaurant with a big M on it. And the guy in the speaker's like, may I help you? And I'm crying. I'm like, you have no idea. What I eventually wound up doing, you guys, is I started low carbing. Now, I am not eating healthy by no means, okay? I still eat fast food every single day. And people question it.
How do you eat fast food and lose 100 pounds?
I'll give you an example. I'll go to a burger place and I'll order a double cheeseburger. I won't eat the bread. I won't eat the onions, the tomato, the ketchup. I'll eat the meat, the cheese, the mayo, the mustard, and I'll order up to 3 with like 3 diet sodas. And people go,
that's unhealthy. The cholesterol's gonna kill you.
I agree. But guess what? Cholesterol's gonna take 10 years to kill me. Diabetes is gonna do it in 2. Right now, I'm winning by 8. Hell yeah, that's called fluffy math, bro. There's a lot of people mad in here right now.
Fluffy found a loophole.
Yes. So I started low carbing, I started doing yoga, and I know that sounds like a joke right there. Yeah, some of you are like, he means yogurt. No, yoga. Freaking DDP helped me, and then I started lifting weights, and it's kind of hard for me, you guys, because now I have people at my shows telling me,
we're noticing there's a little difference. You're a